Hey guys, Horror Man back for another review. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the brand new Devil May Cry Dante figure. This is part of the Player Select line and it's made by NECA Toys. So this is kind of similar to the Ultimate figures that we've seen them do recently. It's like the Freddy and such, and it comes in that really nice box packaging. And then you can see a little bit more art on the side and then to the back. And if you want to go ahead and pause it right here, it tells you a little brief bio of the background story and basically a plot line for Devil May Cry. And then also you see some more pictures in here. Again, you could pause it if you want. Each one tells a little bit. And then there's a little bit of character art from the game. And then kind of showing off the articulation. Alright, and then over to the front, it has that nice Velcro piece and a flap, so you can just go ahead and open it. And you can see there's a nice picture of the figure on the inside of the packaging. And then you can also see the figure clearly displayed in here. And then you can see his weapons, like ebony and ivory, shotgun, and Dante clearly displayed in there. And you can see the sword. So really nice packaging for this figure. We'll go ahead and open it and check out what's inside. Alright, so here's Dante out of the box. And as usual with all NECA figures, there's a lot of attention to detail, and it already looks like a really great figure. Now before I get into the review, I did want to mention that this figure is about 7 years in the making. They wanted to put it out 7 years ago, but there was issues with Capcom and such, and it just never happened. So most people thought this figure would pretty much never happen, but here we are 7 years later and it has happened. Now the one thing I don't know is exactly when the sculpt was made. Looking at it, it's hard to tell because most NECA sculpts were always really top quality, and it could be a sculpt that they did years ago, but like I said, it's really hard to tell because it's a very good quality figure. So we'll go ahead and take some close-ups. Alright, so you can see the face sculpt is really nice. Definitely paid attention to the detail in that face and the hair. It's all one piece, but it does kind of, it's pliable, so it will move, and you can kind of see like his other eye underneath there. And of course, this is based off of Dante from the original series, where he had a different hair and a little bit different design. So I believe this to be the more popular design, just personal opinion. But really nice details in that head sculpt. He's also got his classic red trench coat, and he's got his red vest with the belts going across. Nice big belt buckle. You can even see the holes where it would go into. And he's got just little kind of straps on the leg. And the boots are really nice. They definitely stand out. Got the buckles on the side. Really nice detail on those. And of course you have his trench coat kind of blowing off to the side. And then to the back of the figure, you can still see that same good detail in the hair. There's a lot of line work done. You can kind of see the ends of the hair. And you can see different seams in this red jacket and different wrinkles from the trench coat kind of blowing in the wind, and you can see some more seams there. And then again, the back of the boots even have nice shine to them, and you can see the little buckles on the side. So one downside to Dante is that he doesn't really stand very well, and it's definitely because of the trench coat kind of blowing off to the side. So I did use one of the NECA stands for that. He has two peg holes in his heels, so he can easily fit on that peg stand. So he stands pretty good as long as you have one of those stands. Now, I don't want to knock it too much for its standing ability, because the trench coat actually kind of helps you get some of these action poses achieved. So it's kind of like I don't know, it's not horrible because he can't stand straight up perfectly, but you can get him in some really cool action poses, and I'll kind of show you that later, where he kind of leans on the jacket. So he does come with a number of accessories, including a shotgun, ebony and ivory, which are his pistols, and also there's the blast to attach to the end of the pistols, and his sword, Alistair. The sword has some really nice details. You can kind of see that like dragon mouth gripping onto the blade, and there's little like wings coming right off right by the handle, and then even the handle itself has like a skull, and then different skulls on the handle. And here's a closer look at the sword. Now the bursts that go on the end of the guns are really simple. There's like a little bit of like a cutout in the reverse side, and then you just kind of just match it up with the end of the barrel. And here's the shotgun that he holds. So overall, I'm really impressed by this figure. I'm honestly surprised that it even made it to the store shelves. NECA's definitely been hard at work on this one for a long time, so they might be as surprised as we are that this actually saw release. But with 30 points of articulation, multiple accessories, and I really like the little included handgun blasts on here. I think they're really nice. Of course you have 4 different hands you could use. The shotgun, and Alistair, the sword, is just beautiful. It's such a really nice piece. The only downside, like I said before, it is a little tough to stand him due to the trench coat, but you do get a lot of posability with that coat. So, like I said before, it's kind of like, take it or leave it type thing. I really think it's a really nice feature to have, but I definitely would recommend getting the NECA clear stands or some kind of figure stand for it. I think the NECA ones would work the best just because there's nothing that has to be like a post around his back, because you're not going to fit that in with that coat. One feature I think NECA probably should have added is just like having a way to remove that bottom piece of the trench coat. I think that would have been cool. But it might have been very hard to figure out. And like I said, this figure may have been sculpted years ago, so it's just something that's kind of been there and it's done, and they've just been waiting to release it. So maybe they didn't want to add anything like that to it. So I would definitely recommend this one. I found it at one of my local record shops, but you can get it at FYE or any specialty stores. I haven't really seen it in comic book shops yet. I've seen it mainly just in, like entertainment, movie type stores. So, and another thing is there's actually a little hanger that comes with this. So don't expect it to be sitting with the boxes with the video game figures. It's actually probably going to be hanging on one of the pegs. So we'll go ahead and do some comparisons. So here he is next to Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 4. This is an older NECA figure also. The scale's a little bit off. Leon's head is just a tiny bit bigger, and if his knees weren't bent, he'd probably be a head taller than Dante. So they look pretty good next to each other. It might just be the jacket that makes Leon look a little bit bigger, but his head definitely looks a little bit bigger to me. So they're not perfect scale together, but they do look really cool next to each other. And here he is next to one of the Resident Evil 4 bad guys. These actually look really cool next to each other. I could totally see these guys fighting. But yeah, they scale pretty good with each other. Here he is next to the Arnold Dutch character from Predator. And he scales pretty good next to him. It's about the same height. Again, the head is just a little bit bigger on Arnold. So Dante's head is just a little smaller than some of the other NECA figures. And for the last comparison, here he is next to Jason Voorhees from Part 4, Friday the 13th. And again, like, you can put that mask next to Dante, and you can definitely see there's a big scale difference in the size of his head. Alright, so that's my review. All in all, I'm really happy with this figure. It's a long wait for those people that really wanted this originally when it was announced. I kind of feel bad for those people, but honestly, I'm not really a big gamer when it comes to Devil May Cry. I played it years ago, but I haven't really played all the sequels. But I always admired Dante's look, and I thought the weapons and just the style was always really cool. Kind of reminded me of like a Castlevania type of style. So definitely a character well worthy of a figure. And you know, at first glance, this almost looks like something that Play Arts Kai or Figure Arts would make. The only gripes I have with the figure is that some of the joints are just a little bit fragile as far as like the hands. So really just like the pegs when you take the hands out. So be really careful with that. Besides that, I really don't have any complaints. You know, like I kind of said before, you know, I would definitely recommend going with the NECA action figure stands. They're just like a little clear round disc with a peg on it, and you can get them in a pack of 10. And I actually went through 10 of these already. They work really good with older figures. I've used them for even Ninja Turtles, like classic Ninja Turtle figures, ones that you never thought would stand on their own. And yeah, these really work good. It's particularly good for Dante because he has that trench coat, so you really don't want to use any stand that has like a pole or anything like that. And like I said, I picked this up at a local record shop. You can get them at any entertainment stores. I've seen Toys R Us. They're getting ready to carry it, I believe. And like I said, definitely check the pegs. Don't check where the boxes are. Like I mentioned before, there is a little like peg loop on the back, so these are actually hanging on the shelves. They're not down where like the Nintendo game figures are. So thanks for watching my review, and check out the slideshow at the end. Like my video, subscribe, and leave a comment or question if you have any. See ya.